back to my channel. If you guys are new here, hello, my name is Diane and I am a medical laboratory technologist in Canada, or clinical laboratory scientist, as you would refer to it in the States, I believe. Welcome back if you guys are returning subscribers, and I have been getting, wow, quite a few messages, notes, and DMs from a lot of you guys out there wondering, questioning, wanting updates on my job, I guess, like how I'm doing, how my mental health is doing, how I'm just coping and working in general with, I'm sure you guys already know everything that is going on in the world. I feel kind of inclined to talk about it, especially since I am an essential frontline healthcare worker. So this was a really nice message that I got on Instagram. This person said, I was wondering how you guys are staying safe during the COVID-19 outbreaks. Not really sure how it's looking in Canada, but the US is struggling. Canada is also getting there as well, so it's very scary. Also, I really appreciate all of you guys. We hear about appreciation for the nurses and the doctors, but the scientists also figuring out what this illness is also something to be appreciative of. So that was a really nice message. I felt very, I was touched. I'm not the type of person to make a fuss about not getting appreciation. I know that what I do is important, and it doesn't matter whether or not people know that. I think a lot of people don't know we exist, and that's one of the main reasons why I continue to do these types of videos on YouTube, is because I want people to know that we exist and that we are a very important part of healthcare in general. For those of you that don't know, medical laboratory technologists or clinical laboratory scientists, those people working in the laboratory are responsible for testing. So primarily, I think right now, I'm not sure about anywhere else in the world, but in Canada, the primary test for that is a nasopharyngeal swab. In general, you take basically a swab and kind of swab all up in here, all right? And we don't do the testing personally at our hospital yet. I'm not sure if we ever will, but I can't say for sure that we ever won't. Currently, what we're doing at our hospital is we are swabbing any patients that have flagged positive for our screening test, etc., have symptoms, been around somebody with positive COVID. We swab those people, and then we have those sent to a reference laboratory, and I think there's 2 or 3 that we send them out to right now. And those MLTs, those medical laboratory technologists at that site, will then take the swab or the whatever specimen is being tested and test it, obviously, and then call us in the laboratory and tell us, oh yes, this person is positive, so I gotta take the critical report, and then I gotta call whoever needs to be called, scan it into the system. And you can imagine that the sheer volume of these tests are crazy, and I'm not entirely sure whether the government of Canada was prepared for this. I know nothing about it. All I know is that the volume of tests that we are sending out and getting back and having to scan in, it's a lot. And adding that on top of my personal workload already is definitely it's challenging sometimes. I can't speak for those actual MLTs that are physically doing the tests themselves. I can imagine it's very hard mentally, to constantly have to deal with patient specimen, especially for COVID. It's very scary. And even with me right now, just in the hospital dealing with specimen, because our patients in the hospital, I don't know, this is not a fact, this is just what it seems like to me. A lot of the people that are actually admitted into the hospital seem to be very sick. We have a few with COVID, and I'm just saying that in general, the people that are in the hospital are pretty sick. And so sometimes if I'm working in blood bank, like the past few evenings I was working in blood bank, I was in there for hours just working on 1 or 2 patients because we've had difficult patients. So for all of you guys that have sent me questions kind of like, oh, I can't believe you have to test the swabs and then XYZ. Like, I don't deal with the specific COVID swabs after they have already been swabbed. Those get sent out to reference laboratories, and then we kind of deal with the aftermath and all of the reporting and critical results and positive results and all that stuff. That's kind of the role that we play with COVID right now. Part of that question was, how are we staying safe? Like, you know what? I am very thankful for the job that I have right now, that I don't have to constantly be working with patients face to face. I do deal with all of their specimen though, so you know, I do still have to deal with their bodily fluids, their urine, their blood, their stool, you know, like I still have to deal with that stuff. Their cerebral spinal fluids, their pleural fluids, which is especially scary because that's like fluid from your lungs, right? And if you know what COVID is, it's a respiratory illness. So those ones particularly, I've been getting quite a few of, and those ones scare me the most. We do have, you know, PPE, and I'm sure you guys have heard that the entire country of Canada, we're running low on PPE. We are trying to keep a good eye on how much PPE we have, trying not to just use what you need kind of thing. It is my job to adhere to universal precautions, you know, like I am constantly following universal precautions, and what that is basically, if you are unfamiliar, is you're supposed to treat every sample as if it's biohazardous. You're supposed to treat every sample as if it's positive for HIV or positive for hepatitis or something. You're supposed to treat every sample as if it could be biologically hazardous, because even if it's not, you're protecting yourself in case that it is. So that's just constant, that's just how I work, that's how we're all supposed to work. And so now especially I'm being extra super duper careful of washing my hands like multiple times a day. My hands are so ashy, they're so dry. Somebody asked me how am I doing mentally. Like, I thought that was really nice of somebody to ask, and I can honestly say it sucks. I'm very conflicted. You know, I love my job, I love what I do, I love going to work and knowing I'm making a difference and helping somebody. That has not changed, but the constant worry of catching something, of being infected, of bringing something home to my parents, who are not old per se. Hi mom. But you know, they're aging, and I'm so terrified of bringing something home to my grandma, because my grandma lives here with us. I know that there's still some people out there not social distancing. I know there are still people out there going to see their significant others and going to see their friends, and while I can't change anybody's mind, I know in myself that if I were to ever do that, I would feel sick, because I am a healthcare worker and I work in the front lines, and I walk into that hospital basically every day, and I come home and sometimes I'm scared, you know, like sometimes, despite how many times I wash my hands or how many times I change my glove or how many times I don't touch my face, I'm still scared that somehow I am bringing something home. And it's just a matter of the fact, because our laboratory is not huge, and it's very hard to social distance with all of your other coworkers and with our MLAs. Our MLAs are front line. Our MLAs slash phlebotomists, whatever you call it, wherever you are, those are the people that are going up to patients face to face, drawing blood, collecting the specimen, bringing it back for us, and we interact so closely with each other, you know, and it's scary for them, for us, for our families, for our coworkers, and it's just scary in general. Also, I haven't seen my boyfriend in like too long, and I haven't seen my friends in so long, and I refuse to put myself in a situation where I could be infecting them. So I will not even I won't even humor the idea of going to see my boyfriend, or him coming to me, or me going to see my friends or my cousin. Like, I will not. I have a lot of questions. I'm sure I already answered this, but they say, are you still working in the lab despite this coronavirus outbreak? Of course I am still working, because Even if there's an outbreak, there are still sick patients. Take COVID out of this. There are sick patients with GI bleeds. There are moms who just delivered that are having complicated pain. There are people who have pneumonia. There are people that have general weakness. We need to take care of those people. I still need to do blood work. I still need to report out their results. I still need to call criticals. I still need to cross-match blood and issue out blood products. I still need to do all of that despite COVID, and somebody has to. If I didn't come to work, if we didn't come to work and you had a GI bleed and you needed units transfused, what are you gonna do? Who's gonna test your blood to make sure it's compatible with the red cells you're receiving? Who's gonna test your blood to make sure you don't have any antibodies so that you don't go into hemolytic shock? Last question I'm gonna be answering, I also feel like I've already touched on. It's what is it like working as an MLT during the pandemic? I feel like I already kind of answered that, but again, it sucks. It sucks, but it's not even about being an MLT. It's just working during a pandemic. It's being on the front line, and it's gonna suck not only for me, it sucks probably a lot more for nurses, it sucks for doctors, it sucks for environmental services and cleaners, it sucks for grocery store clerks, it sucks for truck drivers, it sucks for everybody. And it sucks for those who have to work from home now, and it sucks for those people that lost their jobs. It sucks for people that are laid off. It sucks for people that can't find employment. It sucks in general, but we're all in this together, and all y'all need to do is stay the F home, please. For me, because I go to work for you, please stay home. Don't go out and see your significant other if you don't live in the same household. Don't go out and see your friends if you don't live in the same household. Stay apart from people that live in your household to keep safe. Like, just don't go out if you don't need to. I'm sorry, my dog is barking. Please just stay home, because the longer we don't self-distance, the longer we're gonna have to do this. I just want to get through this, you know? I want to get through this with all the people that I love, and I want you to get through this with all the people you love. I don't want to lose anybody. So anyways, that's the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am pretty active on Instagram. If you guys are over there, you guys can check me out. It's the same handle as my YouTube. It's at thatlinguistic. I do try and answer your questions via DM sometimes over there. Anywho, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!
Ryan Little.